My name is Mary Stancavage. I'm a Buddhist chaplain, an empowered Dharma teacher, and a longtime board member of CLU, Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice. And I want to thank Councilmember Jurado for inviting me here today to speak about my interactions with ICE. I do not have any firsthand experience with ICE, but I have definitely been impacted. When my student, who is 80 years old and in a wheelchair, tells me that ICE pulled her out of a line at the airport, interrogated her about her immigration status, I am impacted. When I drive by the U-Haul in my neighborhood and no one is standing or sitting outside for the first time that I can ever remember in over 25 years, I am impacted. When I see a black Escalator, similar vehicle in my neighborhood, I look to see where my neighbors are and whether the gardeners are okay. I am impacted. When the manager at the pet store tells me his children are crying because their classmates, their best friends, must leave this country where they were born, I am impacted. When I attend the Tuesday vigil that happens every Tuesday for the disappeared, Los Desaparecidos, and hear a story about how ICE abducted a son, a brother, an aunt, a daughter, a husband, I am impacted. CLU has been administering a bond fund for people detained by ICE. When I go to pay a bond and it's turned down for some reason, I cry for the person I have never met. I cry for his family. I am definitely impacted. When I sit in the cafeteria in the federal building and chat with people next to me and hear their stories of how their uncle was taken from his job or their sister was taken while they were checking in, I am impacted. When I'm invited to a city council meeting to share my experience, and I tell a friend, and she says, "Is it safe to do that?" I'm impacted. I'm impacted because I'm human, because I care about my neighbors, and I care about people I have never met. I care about the laws that seem to be superfluous to ICE. I am impacted. In June, when ICE first arrived in Los Angeles and the National Guard wasn't far behind, I was part of an interfaith gathering of clergy and laity who walked down to the Metropolitan Detention Center. LAPD had blocked off Alameda, so we stood at the corner of Alameda and Aliso. We sang songs and we spoke words of peace and justice. We also watched ICE vehicles bring people to the MDC. I watched as LAPD began to line up and take a more formal stance. Then I noticed the National Guard down the block come to attention and stand facing us as well. And what I felt in that moment was fear. Not my own fear, but waves of fear coming off the LAPD and the National Guard. It was visceral. Fear of pastors and rabbis and imams and chaplains. It was not fear of anything we were doing, but it was a fear of the other. People have been demonized and dehumanized, and that breeds fear and it breeds violence. ICE didn't start it, but it's continuing it, and it impacts me and countless others. In my Buddhist tradition, there is a teaching about several monks who were frightened and went to the Buddha for support, and he gave them a teaching on loving kindness as an antidote to fear. Wishing in gladness and safety, may all beings be at ease, whether they are weak or strong, great or mighty, medium, short or small, seen or unseen, living near or far away, born or to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. So with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings. And I am doubly committed to living this way. I am doubly committed to ending injustice where I see it. I am doubly committed to cherish all living beings and work from a foundation of love. This is also how ICE has impacted me. Thank you.